Enforcement's one of those jobs where if you've admitted most departments that you ever even tried anything, they're not going to hire you, and you figure out after a while that it's not what you do, it's what you get caught doing or confess to doing or convicted of doing. And our last 3 presidents have all been in office and admitted to smoking pot, even though if any of them had been popped for it, they would have never been lawyers or president. Any other questions? Please. She asked if drugs were legalized, would there be less people doing it? Well, one of the big things that we try to focus on is that drugs shouldn't be a criminal issue, they should be a health and education issue. Currently 17% of American adults smoke cigarettes. It was 46%, and we haven't made tobacco illegal. What we've done is we've educated people, and it's no longer condoned. You can't smoke in Wendy's, and I moved down here 20 years ago, and I remember walking through the food line and seeing the butcher cutting meat with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And it used to be that way everywhere. Everywhere you went, you smoked, and if somebody asked you not to smoke, you looked at them like they were an idiot, and everybody else did too. And now if you're the smoker, you get to go outside and stand in the rain, or not even smoke on company property, or there are places that don't even let you sit in your car and smoke. And by the places that have legalized it have not seen an increase. Most of them have seen a decrease because it's no longer cool. Now people might go a little nuts for a little while and try it, and it's if crack was legal, how many people here would try crack who haven't already? Okay, we got one. It's most people, even if it's legal and it's pure, if they experiment with it, they'll go, no, I don't want to keep doing that. But the majority of people are content without it, and they're it's getting away from the whole image too. They're a tremendous. I remember years and years ago there was a movie called Poltergeist, if anybody's ever seen it, and there's a mother and father. They're productive members of society, and they put their kids to bed, and they get out a cigar box, and they've got a bag of dope and some rolling papers in there, and they get high and they giggle and they act like idiots and have fun. And there are a tremendous amount of people that you would never guess are like that, and that's the recreational marijuana use for them. They like not having a hangover, they like not being totally stupid if there's an emergency, and it's something that it's a much safer alternative to alcohol. Alcohol's the 4th most dangerous drug there is. Tobacco's the 1st, and those are both legal and pretty much unregulated. You got another question? He asked how I feel about the way we educate our children regarding drugs. We teach our children lies about drugs. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of prejudice, there's a lot of greed. And then, as I said, when you teach the children that, something is very dangerous and they find out by their friends or firsthand that it isn't, then they don't have respect for you or the things that really are dangerous that you warn them about. There's a lot of ways to educate children. My daughter working the camera, there's 17 years old, and to the best of my knowledge, she's never tried pot, and with other things that she's done and she's told me about, I believe she would tell me if she did. I've never hid the fact that I, as I said, had my youthful indiscretions and messed around with stuff when I was younger and was lucky enough not to get caught for it, but I had a lot of peers who weren't, and I had a lot of peers who chose alcohol much more than smoking a little bit that are dead now. I went to high school with 4 guys who were driving back from a party after drinking, and the driver fell asleep and they went under the back of a lumber truck, and 3 of them were decapitated. Alcohol does a big make you a better driver. Most of the studies with people who are using cannabis, it shows that you're a safer driver, if not a better driver. You tend to be a little bit overly careful, which, you know, it's better to go a little bit under the speed limit than twice the speed limit. So I think we need to educate kids. You know, when you take the profit out of it and it's regulated and people can buy it responsibly, I would much rather have a kid steal their dad's pot that they bought from a legal store than buying it on the street corner and not knowing what's in it. You know, they have people putting formaldehyde in cannabis now to give it a little bit more kick. Back when I was in high school, people were putting PCP in it, which is a large animal tranquilizer that really makes people freak out bad. Did you have another question over there? She had her hand up before. Anybody else? Well, I thank you. I've got a bunch of literature over here. I've got a sign-up sheet for our mailing list or emailing list if you're interested in it. I've got some little LEAP badges if you sign up for our email list. You can have one of those. They're normally a few bucks on the website. Thank you.